Hello, everyone. Ash Playstead here. I'm your host of the Whisky Business Show. Hope you are well today. I think we're at episode 5, and I've got a real treat today. A very interesting uh, learning and life lesson, whisky lesson, I think, that whisky lovers will find interesting, but also mortgage brokers will find really interesting as well. So, got a couple of things I want to cover here. First of all, as always, we'll start with the whiskey. So if I'm to reach over my left shoulder here and grab the whiskey that I want to talk about, this whiskey is from a distillery on Islay in south off the coast of southwest Scotland that I've spoken about many times. So this is Ardnahoe, relatively new distillery, which is really interesting. This whiskey was released a couple of months ago, sold out very quickly. It's their inaugural release, as you can possibly see on the label there, and it sold out in a day. So you might be asking yourself, how could a whiskey from a new distillery that's 5 years old sell at a premium price and sell out in 5 days in an industry where tenure, experience, reputation, provenance, all of those things are considered to be the hallmarks of desirability and value? Some of the whiskey distilleries, I think the oldest one in Scotland is up to 500 years old. This one sent out its first whiskey in 5 years, as I said, sold out at a premium very quickly. So first things first, the first thing I want to do is to speak about the distillery. And the whiskey. And I'll go to my notes from my favourite organisation, the Whisky Club, who is where I sourced this particular whiskey. So let's go to the notes. So this is Ardnahoe's inaugural release, as I said. Its nose is described as peanut brittle, shortbread, lemon zest, and some Islay peaty smoke. Its palate is custard, ginger, baked apple, pecan, and earthy spice, and its finish is long and smoky with salted cashew and creamy mocha. Now, this is a great one for Australia because its food match is barbecue. You know, the whiskey or this particular whiskey packs a real flavour punch. So you'll want to fight fire with fire to get the balance and product pairing 100% right. And it's almost unheard of. As I said, this is the first inaugural release from Islay, which is home to some of the most sought after whiskies in all of Scotland in 15 years. So hotly pursued, as I said, that it sold out in less than a day. Before then, it had been about 140 years since fellow Islay distilleries Bruichladdich or Bunnahabhain dropped a first release, two of my favourite distilleries. So, of all of the new distilleries in Scotland, this inaugural release was the most anticipated and well worth the wait. As I said, its peated barley is sourced from Islay's fabled Port Ellen Maltings. So in Port Ellen, which is the port, as the name suggests, of where you land on Islay when you come from the mainland. I spent 3 or 4 days staying there with my son Tom on our adventure, and I saw these big malting silos firsthand. So they make a lot of the malt there and distribute it to distilleries. And as I said, it's really a brilliant whiskey. I had a couple of drams of it when I was over there. And as I said, this sense of shortbread, peanut brittle, baked apple, the lemon zest, the smoky finish is all legitimately, contained in this whiskey. So it's a new whiskey from a new distillery, sold out quickly at a premium. I'm not sure what it's worth on the aftermarket, but time shall tell. Okay, so I want to now shift over to talking about mortgage broking. So, what's the relatable connection between this fine single malt whiskey and good business? So, you might think as a new broker, this might be directed not just at new brokers, but primarily new brokers. Oh, I'm new to the industry. I haven't been doing this for a long time, or I'm young. Will people believe me? Will they take my advice? I'll have to be doing this for a while before I can really speak up and demand a lot of client flow. These might be normal beliefs when you come to an industry that is populated by a lot of older people, particularly older men that have been in financial services for a long time. There's a lot of grey hair, a lot of bald heads, guys that have been doing this for a long time, got a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, a lot of connections. And yet the truth is something different, certainly as I have observed it. In the current market, a lot of new to industry brokers, and I'm talking, 0 to 3, 4, 5 years, are really smashing out big numbers, doing extremely well. So you ask yourself why? So they're like the broker version of Ardnahoe's inaugural release. They're killing it, and yet they don't have those traditional, been doing it a long time, know everything about broking, know everybody to rest upon. So what are they doing? Well, I think the first thing I really want to say about that is it speaks to what the public or prospects, clients actually want. They don't really care about how much you know, how long you've been doing it, how old you are, what your gender is, any of those things. What they care about is, do you understand them? Can you solve their problem? And can you do it quicker than anyone else? That is really what I'm saying here. And these new generation of brokers are understanding and doing that really well. So if you're looking to enter the industry, or you're relatively new in the industry, or you're even looking to refresh your brand and your presence, understand your ideal client, understand their problems, their opportunities, their challenges, what keeps them awake at night. Solve that, speak to that, and then support it with your systems and processes and communications to get the job done really well at a high level, consistently, repeatedly, over and over again. That is the secret sauce. So it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. So if you're watching this episode of the Whisky Business Show and thinking, oh, that's not, I'm new, but, I need to be doing this for a while. No. Shift your mindset to, who am I looking to serve? What are their problems? How do I solve them? Speak to that. Just as Ardnahoe spoke to the market about its inaugural release, about its flavour profile, its distillation and production process, the quality of its ingredients, the branding and marketing. All of those things combined overcame, for a lot of people, not everybody, right? Let's be honest and let's be clear. There are whiskey aficionados who don't care about any of that. They'll only buy and drink a whiskey if it's been around for 2 centuries. That's fine for them. But there's plenty of whiskey drinkers out there, as Ardnahoe proved, selling out in a day of their first batch. So as a mortgage broker, you're not looking to appeal to prospects who want the broker that's been doing it 20 years. You're appealing to your people who value what you do, irrespective of whether you've been doing it 1 day or 10,000 days. So the lesson is, understand that, speak to that, be clear about that, understand what your prospects are looking for, and gather them up and serve them. And just like Ardnahoe was run off its feet with orders and had to go to more production and scale up resources, so can you in your mortgage business. So have a fantastic day out there. Take these lessons on board. Enjoy single malt fine whiskey. Enjoy good business. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Whisky Business Show.